All right, so many have been wondering what's happening with Naughty Dog, especially in the PS5 generation. We've gotten a remake for The Last of Us Part 1. We got a remaster for The Last of Us Part 2, and that has been it. And as much as I love those remasters, as much as I love the remake for Part 1, it's been sparse. Intergalactic has been announced. It's been coming, we don't know when. And we have a little bit more info, which to me reveals when we're actually going to be getting Last of Us Part 3. And so I wanted to dive into it with you. So let's dive into this thing. So again, it's been really disappointing. Ever since the cancellation of Factions 2, this has been kind of the state of Naughty Dog of just waiting for something to happen. Intergalactic was something. It's a game that right now I'm not through the roof excited for, but I trust Naughty Dog, and I trust that as we see more, it'll be really cool. We're hearing all kinds of things like there'll be actual decision making, that it's an open world game, that it'll be a less linear story and more like a Breath of the Wild kind of thing. And so it's interesting. It's definitely different, and I'm looking forward to see what they cook up. But I have thought for a while, because Naughty Dog said they didn't want to announce games that were so far away and that they wanted to announce their games closer to their actual release date. So I've thought that we will see Intergalactic come at the end of 2026, maybe early 2027. That is not the case. We're officially getting reports now that it will not come in 2026, that they're aiming for a 2027 release date, which means that will be the close to the end of the PS5's life cycle, believe it or not. What a disappointing console generation. There hasn't been a lot of buzz. And so that seems to be the case, and it'll probably be a cross-platform game from the PS5 to the PS6. So what does that leave us with The Last of Us? They're working on The Last of Us Part 3 right now. I'm telling you, they've been working on it ever since Part 2 wrapped up. That they were developing it, developing the story and the ideas and where things are headed, and that they've been working on it. They're 100% working on it. We know that Naughty Dog is working on approximately 2 to 3 games. All insiders are saying that one of those games is The Last of Us Part 3. So when will we see The Last of Us Part 3? I always thought that the reason why they remastered not just remastered, the reason why they totally remade Part 1, the reason why they re-released Part 2 was because the Last of Us trilogy would all be on the PS5. And then when the PS6 came, you would get the final definitive edition of The Last of Us trilogy. That they would release them all as one game all together in like a pack with the updates for whatever the PS6 can do that the PS5 can't, which will be pretty minor considering the jump from PS4 to PS5 was super minor. That always seemed like the plan to me. The Last of Us has always released at the tail end of a console's life, and it's always been a game that was a jumping point where you would have a PS3 version of The Last of Us, and then they would send out the PS4 version, which was significantly better. You would have a PS4 version of The Last of Us Part 2, then you would have a PS5 version of The Last of Us Part 2, which was a little bit better. Thought they were going to do the same thing. There's no way, if Intergalactic is coming out in 27, that The Last of Us Part 3 is coming out on this console generation. It's not happening. We're probably going to get one Naughty Dog game, one original Naughty Dog game on the PS5. That's super depressing. For context, the PS4 had 4. You had The Last of Us Remastered, you had The Last of Us Part 2, you had the 4th Uncharted, and then you had the spin-off Uncharted game. You had 4 games. The PS3 had Uncharted, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, and The Last of Us. 4 games. PS5, we get 1. If The Last of Us Factions released it, we would have had 2. Because, I guess you could argue 3. We would have had 3, because you can include the remasters. That's disappointing. That kind of sucks. And so I'm not expecting it anytime soon. I imagine that The Last of Us Part 3 will release sometime around 2029, 2030 on the PS6. What does that mean for the TV show? Well, we know that the show is pretty much releasing seasons on a every other year basis. They've said that they are going to do 3 seasons for The Last of Us Part 2 story. And so, that takes us to around 2030-ish when they will need new material. So it makes sense that that's the case. But it's incredibly disappointing. It's disappointing that Intergalactic isn't coming until at least 2027. It's disappointing that we get one original IP on this console generation from Naughty Dog. It's disappointing that we're not going to get a sequel for The Last of Us Part 2 until around that 2030 mark. It's just a long way out. It's disappointing that I really, really thought all 3 of the games would be on the PS5. I'm quite surprised that it's not. So there you go. It's going to be a while. Again, it's in development. It's not like it's not happening. It's just going to be a while. And as much as I would love for it to come out next year, the truth of the matter is I would rather let them cook. I would rather them really put a lot of effort into Intergalactic and make a really great game than to rush it out. I would rather them spend a lot of time on The Last of Us Part 3, really making that story great, really making the gameplay great, making the animation great, the voice acting, all of the things they're known for. It just sucks. And it sucks because I love their games so much and want more, but they're not making more. And part of this is what you get when you whine about them crunching employees, which is fair. But when you want companies to get rid of crunch, expect this. Because this is a result of Naughty Dog completely getting rid of crunch, which they've done. But things are going to take a lot longer because of that. And so that's kind of the trade-off. That gone are the days of crunching to put out a game. And so it means that we're going to have to wait. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you sad by this news? Does this news not surprise you? Does it surprise you? Did you think we were going to get just one original Naughty Dog game on the PS5 when this console generation started? Did you think that we weren't going to get The Last of Us Part 3 when this console generation started? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that junk, and I will see you guys in the next one.